4 doesn't exist in any physical form in China or
Yeah,
Chinese.
so there is no 4th floor.
Yeah, I mean,
It means-
she
means death.
is part of the
There are certain times where you don't say she in Japan, so it makes sense.
Hmm.
Even in Malaysia, the 4th floor didn't exist, kinda. It was 3 and then 5.
I actually worked in the Chinese.
They do that in the United
hotel.
States with the number 13. There's some hotels that don't have the 13th floor.
Yeah.
Oh, there's where Fish's name
I
went.
don't think they
I was like, where did they
I don't think they
go?
go that far in the UK. I think in the UK we do have places with 13th
feel
floor.
like-
Like the building I live in has 13th floor.
I
Streams
feel like it's
alive.
like a counterbalance, isn't it? Because just like,
It's just
oh, what
superstitious
you
nonsense.
you guys don't like 13, we're not gonna like 13, and we're like we don't care. It's not a big deal for us.
Like, how can you be superstitious of a number?
Cares about
Doesn't
the
make any
13.
sense.
Yeah.
Well,
Like, it's
some people
literally-
believe that words have more power that to write a word on a piece
Get
of
pumped
paper
got deleted,
inherently
Breker.
makes it more
No.
powerful.
Thus,
No?
Death Note.
You know what?
That was the pitch meeting.
I was,
Yeah, but Death Note
So-
involved an actual death god, okay?
Hold on,
There was a-
hold
it's
on,
a way,
hold
it's a power.
I was actually thinking of the papers you put on like undead creatures from China. If they put a piece of paper on it, I forgot what it's called. It
Undead
apparently immobilizes
creatures?
them.
What are you talking about?
I forget the terminology.
You
I
can make
apologize.
zombies by putting notes on them? Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
because
I think Goldy is saying that Chinese zombies are scared of post-it notes.
Yes.
I will research this.
On that note,
Sounds like something you made up, but
On that note, we will go through a couple things on the roll call while I do something very quickly. So first of all, and first order of business, please open Roll20 and your character sheets. And second, please make sure you have rolled with advantage for your hit points and your level up, and you have completed all of your level up tasks by now.
I didn't know you could do it with advantage.
Did you can just roll a
completely forgot
d10
about
again,
that.
Torterra, and take the higher one.
I forgot. I didn't
I
do
was
it.
really.
I read it was D6.
Can somebody help me right
Rangers
now
or d10?
to do it? Because I forgot.
Roll 2d8.
You know, I had
Chalcedony
Roll
T10.
2d8?
T10. Roll 2d10 and tell me which one is a higher number.
Cool.
Oh, I did. Okay, my bad. I did.
Not 2d10.
I thought I didn't. I did. I tried to confuse myself.
What's for me to do that?
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I got a 1 and a 9.
Okay, so you can add 9 to your hit
Ooh.
points on the
Ooh.
level up page. So level up your character to 7, I believe, and then put 9 in the HP column. Just add it.
Give me that 9.
Or increase it up by 9.
One
Goldie, yours are
confined
D12.
statue.
Oh, is it? Oh,
You're a
let me fix
barbarian,
that
so
then.
roll a d12 and then another
Okay.
d12 and then take the higher.
Cool. Let me try that again.
A level 7 then.
This is the problem when we live in like 4 different time zones, and I don't want to stay long afterwards.
12.
So you got a 12. You got a max hit points for this level.
Let me just check what I actually had before. which
Wait,
was
I have to
8.
add.
got max too.
No.
I got an 8.
No, Nine. so for,
I'm currently fixing the
58
D&D Beyond extension because it's set for the other group.
So I'll add 6 to my existing one. Let's manage.
And is that all I had to do? Did I have to add? I had to add some something else, right?
Basically.
No D&D Beyond campaigns
Probably-
found. What?
If you go to, did you
We're
go
done.
to manage and then manage
Yeah.
the character? And
I did, yeah.
added everything with the new level, then you should be fine.
There we go.
But don't I have to add some like
It's okay,
ability
that's
score or
fine.
something?
Oh
If
yeah,
you have
only if it. Yeah, it's not every level up.
So this level
I-
up is I don't have to do it.
It should
Well,
tell
I
you
think
what
it
you
doesn't
get with
say.
your level up, if you get anything
It'll
new.
say.
It will say.
Scroll to the bottom of your page once you've changed it to level 7.
It says maneuvers.
So click that, and then you can
that's,
choose a new
yeah.
maneuver.
It's highlighted. Oh, it's highlighted.
That means you can add a
Yeah.
new maneuver at this level.
Highlighted with an exclamation
Oh
point.
shit! I get new maneuvers.
A man hoover, even.
A new maneuver. New
Oh,
maneuver.
oh gosh, where's the
Newman.
where's the page?
New maneuver. New maneuver.
I get to
forgot the
choose
lyrics.
2.
All right, I
I
think
mean,
that the
I would-
extension is currently broken, so I will not actually work on that.
Gross.
But that's
Where's
okay.
the info page for that? I need what's it called?
Cal, if you select it, it will give you a it will give you a description of what it is, and if you could just click through the next one or select a new one, it'll just give you the description of the next one, so you don't actually need to go to another page. You just do it all inside the character sheet.
Does it?
No, I can't. Okay.
I will read it.
Okay. For the time being, you are not in grave danger of choosing your man hoovers. So let's start with the campaign. Make sure you have the other stuff open with the Roll20 page, and let's
It's like
gear
manscaping.
into.
You got a man hoover.
I'll come down to I'll come to Cal and Vanvalor last because Van's probably still a bit groggy, and Cal's still choosing what he gets on the level up. So
Cal doesn't know what the
Okay,
fuck
I'm
is
just gonna
going
say
on.
it's a miracle that I'm here because my phone was dead and my alarm didn't go off, and I just woke up at 5 anyway.
Yikes.
So,
Oh,
okay.
Jelly.
Oh.
No.
Good day,
and then I'm using this dinosaur computer from 2014, and
It was an actual dinosaur computer?
Did you hit it with meteorite yet this morning?
Can't reach.
Did it have its ice age?
meteorite. It is a sad
We're gonna throw math rocks at it anyways. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
We should
So
all
I'll
play
come to you
D&D as
and
dinosaurs, and I'm like,
I'll come to you and Cal last, as the last session ended with our Song of Summer group running
Oh, we're
like
live.
blazes through the frozen tundra, mushing their dog sleds at maximum speed with haste and invisibility of their tracks for about an hour. They were able to get away from the ancient white dragon of Viratrus, all of her clutches and her breath weapon that was hitting the entirety of the ship from the air above, with a piece or two of robbed treasure from the horde after spending hours picking through the ice of it, the frozen treasure trove, and locking up a couple of her minion kobolds inside of a water room, and were able to get out. And they met a Chwinga that was pretty amiable to both Vanvalor and Devii, and was able to disguise their 3 Leomund's tiny huts, which should have been marked off your character sheets, by the way, for the 2 of you that had those. And the dogs are now resting in them. You guys can choose where you would like to rest, and you are just about to set up watch as Devii just set up her last hut and then decided to allow the Chwinga inside. It was making a snow angel on the top and fell to the floor promptly. And you guys can communicate through them, but you cannot see through another dome. It just looks like this 3 domes that have kind of got a little bit of some haunches, if you will, to kind of connect them.
yeah.
To not just look like 3 little camels' humps in the middle of the tundra.
Too bad we can't have like little tunnels in between them.
So just for the record, again, just mechanically here, or mechanic stuff, Velen cannot leave hers, Breker cannot leave his, and Devii cannot leave hers, and they are 3 separate. So that's the only rules that you guys have to abide by during watch.
That's true. Everyone else.
I want a
kind of go in
connecting
between.
tunnel.
You can still, like, I think probably, like, if one person leaves, another person can come in, probably, as long as the 3 main people don't.
Is somebody outside?
I don't think so.
I mean, I could keep watch for first watch if you guys are okay.
Yeah, I think I was gonna stay up, probably the first half, too.
Okay.
Got some things I want to do.
You could work on the tattoo you were talking about.
Yeah. Just, you know, drawing out some tattoo sketches.
Oh yeah, you got super duper tattoos.
It's still night, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think we're all going to sleep,
I've
right?
smack dab in the middle of the night.
I'm fast asleep with my dogs.
Hey.
With all those fluffy butts.
I just rolled for your encounter, Cari. It's a Chwinga.
Yay! Perfect.
Awesome.
So we get another one.
You
No,
will
that means nothing
never
happens.
avoid them.
Means nothing happens. Because Cari rolled percentile on her item first before I rolled the encounter. Sometimes I'll reroll and sometimes nothing happens. But I reserve the right to decide.
It's like you're in charge or something. Interesting.
Weird.
Curious. Must investigate further.
So I've also spent some time recasting Find Familiar to get Blackie back.
Make sure you mark off the incense in your inventory. Make sure you have enough.
Yeah, I did that.
Blackie is back, a little disgruntled, and starts out without his tail, slowly growing like a little slower than the last time when you cast it.
We need to talk about your stealth, Blackie. Like, you shouldn't be getting caught out so easily. So we'll work on that. So, yeah, that's something we'll work on.
He stares at you blankly.
Thinking lizard pots. Yes.
Rob,
Most important kind.
this is something I've been thinking about because, in theory, this is how I would do it. So when Blackie goes for stealth and goes ahead of me, can I make his stealth with advantage if I'm like, okay, try it now? Nope, try it now. Okay, that's more stealthy. Go now, like that. Would that make it more advantage? Because he's chameleon.
So you're asking how you can give your chameleon advantage on stealth checks?
If I can, by doing it that way. Nope.
Not practically.
Yeah.
If you throw him fast enough, people won't be able to see him.
I mean, you can, in the lore of whatever it is that you're doing, try to help him out, but familiars are pretty damn powerful as they are. So they don't get a whole lot outside of what they already get because they're real strong as it is.
Proper strong they are.
I'm just gonna assume the +4 from my chameleon stealth is the thing that we're talking about, is me telling him, okay, that's better.
Sure.
You just jump out the bushes and scream, do better. Just thought.
Alright, are you just doing sketches tonight, Devii, or are you actually trying it on me for the SOS one?
I won't be. I'll just be doing sketches, and I'll be like looking at some of the stuff that I got from the ship.
Also,
Kind of
we're taking this whole kind
reflective.
of time as Devii is starting to figure out what I told you guys are in the kit. That's on this long rest. Devi's figuring that out. That's how it works. So in the morning, she'll be able to tell you what I told you last week about it.
Writing ideas, but if you like said, "Hey, let's do this," she'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'll draw up some sketches."
So
Good
for now,
question.
I could like
until
skip practice on you, but then you would have a bunch of practice tattoos all over me.
Yeah.
until the morning, Devii doesn't know that her stuff is super magic filled yet. She kind of understands that as she kind of uses it and dinks around with it throughout the evening.
Okay, so a question, like, the rest of us are sleeping right now, right? We're not...
The only person that said they're doing anything is Goldy, and he said he's out.
Okay, Cal's also sleeping. And Cal doesn't want to be disturbed.
I'm taking first watch with Devii, I think.
I don't know what tent Cal's in, to be honest with you. I can't remember where we said we were.
Who's taking second watch? When am I supposed to wake up?
Cow, you
Maybe
fell
I
on
should
what
take
appeared to
second
be...
watch then? Well, I don't know. I don't want to take second watch.
Do you
Say
want to
that
take
again?
first? Then I guess.
Cow,
Or
you
take
just like
first.
drop.
You take first since you're figuring stuff out.
Well, I mean, like, I'm not actually watching. At the
Breker would
moment,
kind of
though.
roll over as you guys are discussing this and be like, I'll take second watch, damn it, shut up.
Get some sleep.
Probably a little bit of tension still hangs
Mhm.
from
Mm-hmm.
sprinting for hours and hours and hours with dogs and just quickly doing everything as fast as you can with trying to endure the biting cold. Being inside of somewhere warm is kind of giving you guys your wits a little bit and kind of making you a bit snappier now that you're comfortable.
Huh.
It's still cold as blazes out here, but the tents are making it comfortable despite the howling winds trying to pervade their way through. And despite it being comfortable, somehow it still feels like you're in a drafty room.
After a while, I'm gonna check on Valen's dome, see if she's doing anything with the orb, I guess.
She is kind of... You know what? Make an insight check.
12 plus 0, 12.
She's kind of just sitting in there. The kobolds are kind of gnawing at each other's tails in their sleep. And the zombie is just kind of sitting there blankly staring out at the snow. Dogs all resting, exhausted from the day's journey. And Velen is sitting there with her kind of messenger-style backpack on the ground. Arms crossed, legs crossed, staring at the bag. The puzzled look when you come in. Oh, hey, Meshadieme. Welcome.
How's it
Welcome
going?
to my abode, as it will.
I'm assuming you're finishing your attunement to the orb.
Not quite. I'm afraid. Now that I finally have that, what I've been looking for, I can't really be bothered to mess with Mr. Scantalone anymore.
Let's see.
It's been a
Yeah,
long
if you
day.
need
I don't
company.
need to deal with his attitude right now.
I get it.
After all,
If you need
you've earned the
company, I
rest.
can hang around.
Well, maybe if we find a place more comfortable and private than the middle of the tundra and a couple of huts.
Gotcha.
Kind of still
Well, have a
been
good night.
pondering what to talk to him about, but yes. Yes, you too. Are you keeping watch? Do you need some assistance?
I'm good. Devi's nearby, so I can ask her if she'll help.
Good. Okay. Well, keep watch on the weather. We don't want a blizzard taking us by surprise and burying us in these things before we can get out.
Understood.
All right.
And I'll look out.
Evening. And she just goes back to staring at the orb and whips out her spell book and starts reviewing some spells for the next day.
Am I rolling for anything or no? For watch.
Are you taking first watch?
Yeah.
Is everyone else going to bed? Or trancing thereof?
Yeah.
Bed.
Mid snore.
I think that I was planning to stay up, but I end up falling asleep working at my stuff.
I think after a while, the Chewinga that fell through and hung around with Vanvalor for the first part of the performance that you guys had kind of done, the Chewinga maintains its area around Devii for the rest of the evening, seeing this fancy new box with some interesting instruments that it finds particularly shiny. You notice that it actually ends up being a very curious creature and does some things for Devii that tips you off. kind of plays with the corks of a lid of one of the ink vials, and you notice that it's got something more sparkly in it, and you inspect it, and there's kind of dragon scales over a couple of the bottles now, and your guess is that they, as you kind of watch what the Chwinga is doing, it's almost like it's drawn to the magical essences of things, and finds that, you know, when its icy hands touch things, you notice that the elements don't really have any bearing on them. And it pleases both you and the Chwinga, because you don't want your tools to be destroyed, and he wants to play with them. So it's quite a nice relationship you have for the evening, as you figure out more and more things and start to realize that, you know, maybe gem dust could actually go into the ink, so it'll make it incredibly, excruciatingly painful. But you can infuse magic into the ink by using the gems crushed as a focus. And your guess is that if you can find a good jeweler and a good enough gem that you can break down that's enough value, and you could put it all in to make the design and do a good job at it, well, you might be able to infuse some magic. But your guess is that your bardic background's not going to help you here. This is pure skill and artisan. You're going to have to go through.
You know, interacting with him before I go to bed, I might draw a sketch of him, have him pose for me.
Oh yeah, he
See how it goes.
He kind of sees that you're drawing him, and then like hams it up a bit more.
Yeah. I'll make him look as like amazing as possible, so he doesn't, you know, feel bad.
Sure, he does like the little thinker pose, but he like gussies up his little like mane of Aurora Borealis and icy hair, kind of just like has it naturally flowing and billowing. And kind of like tips a nose that he doesn't have, and then changes the design on his mask to make it look a little cooler and more interesting.
Yeah, we'll sign it and fold it nicely and give it to him if he'd like it.
He like grabs a little piece of snow and pushes his finger on it, and you see like this spider pattern of a snowflake with like a slash mark through it. It's like a signature stamp that he signed it and hands it back to you.
Yeah, I was like, this is a present. Thank you. I put
and he
it in
like
the box.
crosses his arms and goes, just kind of giving you the stuck-up popular
I'll
kid
do like a little,
thing now.
a little fist bump for him.
Kind of just turns his head. It's like,
I'll draw a picture of like two little stick figures going.
He just copies you.
Yeah.
And then poses again.
Yeah, I think stuff like that will continue for a while with us.
Probably.
I have something I want to do, but I'm trying to wait for a good time where like everyone's asleep in my tent.
Well, currently you're about to have Mesh start his wash, and you're gonna go trance.
Yeah. So I'll just go trance now.
Okay. You close the box, and as you do, you know, the Chwinga comes over and hands you your key and latches it shut. And with a bow, he bows, and as he stands up, takes his hands and takes off his mask like a hat, puts it to his chest, falls directly back like a trust fall into the snow, and vanishes.
His face look like?
Blackie goes and tries to dig him out.
Basically just a triangle pattern or and then a snowflake around that. Mesh, roll a perception check.
Oh. I was gonna say, for a moment, Blackie goes and tries and digs out the Chwinga.
Yeah, just kind of like pedaling into the snow.
That's a crappy roll. 4 plus 3 is 7.
Mesh, give me a wisdom save.
Wisdom, okay. Natural 19.
Okay. I'd say that what ends up happening here on your watch is that through the remainder of these 4 hours that you're standing about, you realize that you have been staring at only the direction where the dragon you would run from, and have become paranoid that this thing is still going to show up. Despite your comforts, despite your hiding, everything, it's just this lingering emotion of fear that just very, very slight in the back of your mind, and is just enough to distract you from really maintaining a solid watch. But you don't really realize it until it's already too late. You're like, oh God, you know what? I just need to go and rest. This is pushing me beyond my limits. I feel alone. All my companions are here, but I still... It's like one of those things where it's just like a reminder. Doing things by yourself is lonely. You grew up this way. And it's not... Now that you finally have friends, it's like you've just forgotten that this emotion really is here. And your watch comes to an end without any other events.
I go in and kick Breker up. It's your turn.
I'll kind of stand up in my tent and start walking to go on patrol, and then realize, oh crap, I can't leave. I'll kind of nudge Bear awake and kind of say, Bear, go patrol.
I start trancing.
I just moseys out of the tent. Perfectly content to do so because he's a magical creature and doesn't give a fuck. So he walks around. Kind of sniffs the air. Looks back at the tent. Piercing gaze that you know he can't see you, but he can sense you there. Gives you a nod and then kind of moseys outside of your eye line as kind of the snow picks up a bit for the evening. This isn't where we're going to start with your perception check. Unfortunately, Breker, we're going to go back into your dreams, which happened before you wake. As you rest, a wide expanse extends past your vision, like a beautiful beach horizon without land or sea. An ocean of glass. Without reflection of yourself, just a sky and a firmament that is met by a perfect reflection below. And as you stand, you see very slight ripples as if it's a very small pond that is only about a quarter of an inch deep. What do you do?
I kind of reach down and touch the water, see if it ripples away from me.
Reach for the water. An invisible hand, almost covered in mercury, lifts, but you don't see the hand touch the water or make the contact or see your hand go into the water. You just feel yourself move that way and become something that was not previously there. Then your body begins to almost absorb shape. The water doesn't drip off, but rather slowly just kind of helplessly moves and creates form, body, and then solidifies into what you know as yourself and what you represent, and the reflection matches. The ripples stop and you become one with the environment. You can see yourself in the reflection and in the firmament. Then the wind picks up from behind you, a tailwind almost prompting you forward, but your feet are stuck. You can't move. The water begins to slowly rush. You can hear it, but you can't see it. Infinitude away, it begins to slowly form and come closer to you. You can hear it as if a waterfall is roaring over all of a sudden, and now the firmament and the water are gone. And the only thing left is a single strand of silver hair that you are standing on, effortlessly, but seems strange. And it only goes two ways. behind you and before.
Breker kind of just gathers his gear, never been one to go back, starts going forward.
Almost behind you, you can feel the strength of Tyr pressing you on, and the support of your deity and your oath pushing you. And in what feels like eons you've walked, you feel the age in your knees, and you come to a point of just utter exhaustion in your sequence here. You lose your footing and you fall to one knee.
Can I just like catch my breath for a moment? Redouble the effort despite the pain, like call Tyr for a little bit of like, I need some extra wind in my sails. Never stopping. I need to keep going.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
18.
You will yourself to stand amidst the pain and the arthritis, the rheumatoid locking of the muscles, almost as if a walking corpse. You pass on, eons to go, and yet eons past, continuing into the future. At some point on your journey, it feels as if you're the only thing that exists anymore. Tyr is long gone. The armor has been shed. You've slowly shaded off every possible thing, and you are just down to essentially a pair of trousers and some linens. And yet you press on. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Natural 1.
You collapse onto the ground, and you hear an old man's voice behind you. There's none other than Tyr's. Long past. Long to go. The sacrifice of pain gets us here. There is much more to do. But I and you cannot do it. Oh.
I'd call out to Tyr, like, Tyr, I need help. My companions, my armor.
Look down at the strand. This is yours. You must press on. But I cannot help you beyond here. This is my end of your strength. You must forge a path by your own strength. Without me, you must find more purpose. Justice is only in so much that there is injustice. You must find purpose beyond. You must find peace. And you know that my, well, strength is only in one thing.
Tyr, justice is peace. That is the way we've always known. I bring this to the wastelands.
Yes, and bring it you must, for you cannot get here without it. Your journey is far, longer than any paladin must go. You must reach out to your companions. They will guide you. But the path is ahead, and you must walk. The vision fades, and the strand of fate is the only thing that you see ahead. You wake to Mesh waking you.
kind of like snap awake a little bit in a cold sweat from the ending there where my strength was failing me.
Takes a couple minutes to gather your thoughts as Mesh goes to rest somewhere nearby. And you send Bear out. Almost the eye line reconnecting with you. A little bit of deja vu. Shake it as the bear goes around and makes a perimeter. Your Goldy sleeping with the dogs nearby.
After Bear kind of makes a lap here, we're probably like 4 to 5 hours away from the ship now, right?
Let's take a look. You are around 7 to 8 miles away, is in your guesstimation. And the only reason I'm giving you exact numbers is because you have a trained guide with you in Torterra.
After Bear makes like 1 or 2 laps, maybe like 10 minutes, can I tell Bear, go and check on the ship, report back in the morning, see if the dragon is still there or what's going on?
In your mind, you hear him connect with you again. Masters is wise.
You're a polar bear. I don't think it'll attack you.
As you wish. And he softly plods on, knowing that he's got a long journey ahead of him. He's not in any particular rush. Kind of just see his haunches meld into snow as he just vanishes from sight. Very slow, yet paced way.
I'm kind of figuring he's got about 8 hours, so 4 hours there, 4 hours back.
Okay, are you waking up anybody else, or are you just gonna be the only one awake for this leg of the watch?
Devi's the other one who normally trances, so I might go and see if she's now out of her trance.
I'm awake.
And by that I mean throw things at
Knock
her
on the
bubble
bubble.
and tell it.
Yes, throwing snowballs. Devi, you can hear.
I'll get closer to the edge of it, like, yeah?
Your turn for watch.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll watch, I guess. As
Keep
best
an
I
eye out
can.
for Bear. He should be coming back later.
Okay. I can do it. Can I ask you a question about your oath?
Anytime.
Does it feel any different when you're serving after you've taken it?
Initially, not so much. But around 3 years in, there was an infusion of power. Kind of like a culmination of the oath.
Do you regret it at all? Does it make you feel like you're no longer free?
I've never felt entrapped by Tyr. Him and I are one and the same in our how we deal and approach with things. If you feel trapped by your oath, might be more like the pacts that warlocks form, where they are not bound by honor and duty, but by deceit and greed.
Thanks. I'll keep an eye out for your polar bear.
I sent him to check what the dragon's doing. Something about that still is slightly unsettling.
Do you
I don't
think it will
believe we
smell
should have
him?
been able to walk away from an ancient white dragon like that. Something else was going on there.
I think it was crazy. So at least we had that on our side, but I think caution is wise. Night.
Good night, Devii.
Gonna look around, make sure everyone in my tent is asleep, and ruffle in my pocket and pull out a paper.
As Devii opens this pocket, it's just ramshackled, frozen over letter. It seems to have warmed and unfolded a couple of times. It just says, to Devii. And the strands of fate need a little boost. Or at least a guide. Open this.
She'll open it up. She'll read it over herself.
It smells like rum.
That was probably his favorite rum. One that was sat in his mug for way too long. Silas. Thank you. And she will... I'm not very good at this, by the way, but... Breker doesn't regret it. I think it'll be okay. Can't keep stopping, I actually have to do this, okay. Sheltered in her wings wander a shepherd of souls whose thread is broken, mender of the weave of fate. Death and darkness surround us, we do not fear. I am a fate of the Raven Queen.
You cut out towards that last line, Cari.
I am a fate walker of the Raven Queen.
Devi's hands begin to clutch tight as she holds them. Looking around, maybe peeking an eye. Nothing really seems to change. And then you look at your hands and they're not coming apart. Suddenly your fingernails shimmer. Silvered. Your tattoos match and glow on your arms. The rings on both sides illuminate, and in a flash, like just a splash of water, your tattoos are gone on your arms.
Gone.
But the raven on your
I have a
chest
tattoo here.
is
Gotcha.
still there.
I sometimes do that too.
Or sorry, is it an albatross, Cari, right here?
No, it's the North Star.
The North Star.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you've got the North Star still there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I got the words, but just not the bands.
Yeah. The letters, the lettering's still on your fingers, but it's just the bands around. And your fingers continue to glow, and yet they extend, and almost like a line, just extend all the way to just like a primitive, almost linear representation of your bone structure. Just kind of like goes down the hand into a single point, and then a line all the way down your arms and beneath the clothes, and you can feel it creeping through your neck and wrapping around your head. And then you can just hear the flapping of wings. Just like a flock of massive migration going over your head, but there's nothing but snow and ice.
Why are these gone? They are my penance. I thought that was supposed to represent, like, me trying to do good, and on the other, all the bad that I've done, to not forget. Why are they gone, but the others are still around?
represent new life. You are new. You must change. Guide.
Oh.
Seek. Understand.
There, it's written down. Okay. Very well. As you wish, I will do that.
What about your palm? Small silver kind of mask shape. Almost for a second you swear it's this Chewinga's mask. And then it kind of enlarges a little bit and has a bit of weight to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also notice there's a little like ring and maybe a slight chain to it. But the chain is obsidian and the mask is silvered. And you notice that one eye has a almost engraving of a teardrop, and the other is another eye is opened, so there are holes into the mask, and the other eye has a crack down. And an emotionless face, completely neutral. But the shape of the nose and the roundness and the styling on the eyebrows is intensely feminine.
Am I supposed to wear this?
This is your focus.
Okay. Does it look like it's gonna fit my face?
The mask is about the size of a Chewinga's mask. And it has a chain that you can drape over your neck like a necklace.
Oh, I was gonna be like, thank goodness I don't want to wear a mask.
But it definitely has some things that look like it could be hiked up and used as like a bracelet, or you could throw it on like a something. There's some connecting pieces you can put on a belt loop, or in component pouch, whatever. But it's basically a spell focus for you.
Feel better. If you can, tell Silas thank you.
You will tell him yourself in time.
I'd love to do that. Feel better.
Good. I didn't protect you for no reason. It was Silas's wish that you live.
Thank you. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I'll remember and tell him that.
Devii, you are consecrated for my service. Only now you are realizing it, of your own will.
Did Silas consecrate me?
Silas made a great sacrifice for you.
Is he come to his end?
What he has done is none of your business. It was his choice.
Okay.
You must make yours.
Okay. Yes, I will. I won't let it go to waste at all. I will tell him thank you someday.
Listen, I haven't much time. What I sent to you, the Dallan, has spent many, much of my power. I cannot do that again.
I understand.
What I give you is the power of spells. The small jigsaw piece in the strand of your fate. You must use this. This is your task.
I need to use it Could you say that one more time?
This is your task to use your own strength that I give you.
With the jigsaw piece.
That is your tool. You have a part to play in this grand scheme of the play of life.
I understand.
Listen, you will uncover things that you will not like about me. You must not waver.
Never.
No one is perfect. You must understand the decisions that I make. I like the decisions you make. You must be above reproach. At their heart and at their core. You will find rest at the end of this.
All right. Very well.
You walk
Thank
fate,
you.
but you also bend it.
That is a very... That's a lot on one's shoulders. I won't take that lightly.
There will be more in time. For now, just continue walking. You just feel not a presence leave, but almost like a resident door to your room stay open. Almost as if you are a teacher and the door is just propped open for anyone to walk in and out. But someone has just left the room. Goldy. As you rest, a very simplistic thing happens. You are lounging in town on the riverside, alone, just fishing. Next to you, a campfire and a spit with a fresh catch. Probably not your best work, but hey, it's lunch.
Yeah.
Just hear like a thud next to you. It doesn't sound threatening. It's kind of like someone just plopped down a big bag of potatoes or something next to you for dinner, just as an added thing. And as you glance at it, you just see the base of what looks to be a very traditional totem pole with the head of a bear and two claws holding it down, made out of scrimshaw bone. And second piece, blank, thuds down out of nowhere on top. And then you can hear whistling from the forest. A large knife, carving knife, land into the blank slate. Prop your fishing rod up. Set the lure so it doesn't go out to infinitude into the lake. And then go check it out. What do you do?
Pick up the knife and inspect it.
The knife has just a very simple scrimshaw design into the pommel. It just has a bunch of different animals that you would recognize. Tiger, wolf, elk, bear, and a couple others.
I look at the other totem pole and I start carving.
Probably takes a few hours. Just takes a few hours. It's almost as if you have just learned how to do this overnight. But because this is a dream, it's pretty fast. And you just feel tired and kind of plop next to the fire, which is now just coals and your fish now in your mouth as you kind of admire your work. What's left?
I grab the knife and I cut my hand.
Starts bleeding.
I let it bleed for a little while. And then on my carving, I put my hand on the top of where the forehead would be. And I would just go down, smearing it all just on the face.
Through both of them? Or just the top one?
Top one, to mine. To the bit I carved.
What does it look like? What animal did you carve?
I carved a Wolverine.
Okay. Wolverine.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
Sorry. I carved a Wolverine.
Wolverine has blood on the snout and the face. It is of your own. The blood kind of seeps into it, and both of the scrimshaw that you've worked tirelessly to carve, one of them and the other has existed, begin to age before your very eyes and actually begin to shift and become wood. Fine mahogany, and the blood you have put in stains it and wraps around the entirety of it. And as you stand to admire your work, maybe driving the knife into the ground in front of it, you just feel two presence behind you, these spectral beings. One of them a large bear and another a wolverine. And they just walk into where you stand and almost absorb themselves into you. And you have a very, very nice rest. All right.
I drew on the dogs. Sorry.
Yep. Vanvalor, for your rest for this evening, you dream restlessly. It is not a pleasant experience for you, as you have almost like someone in your head, and that very high pitch, just kind of like over the note that's just too much for you to handle. And you also have this low kind of hum that feels like it's just rattling your bones as you sleep. You kind of wake up with a start a couple of times as you see Breker change the guard and kind of wake with a start nearby. Maybe you glance at Velen for a moment as she kind of shuffles in her sleep. As you go back to bed, you just feel an in and out, in and out, an ebb and a flow. And then it begins like a bunch of music for Van. A symphony of forte and piano, and just an in and out continues like waves. And waves become winds, and winds become energy, and the energy becomes music. And then it stops, and your eyes just slowly open, and you just see the aurora in the sky as you just wake again and see the stars and the constellations moving. A lot more active than normal. You see some streaks as some shooting stars go by, and you get inspired and begin to write. And by the end of it, you have come up with some sort of new concerto that has a new path. You've begun to work around with the music of the vastness of the galaxies and the other worlds and possible realities thereof. And now you no longer have just this impact of strength behind your music, but a little bit more of finesse behind it as it becomes more with your gravity magic and your learning of the things that you've been doing. For Torterra, you have that static again. But the good news is it's fainter this time. It's not as loud and obnoxious. It's almost like a TV in the other room has just been left on. The snow continues. An annoyance. A little bit of anger to go with it, but you know that at the end of the day, you can see through this now. This will be dealt with, and it will be your hand to do it. And as this comes about, you start to almost walk through these corridors of your mind and open doors and walk through them and find weapons or tools or any kind of thing that you find there. You even see a room where just your companion, Turtwig, is just resting. In a room of just a vast library. And it's almost like you just do 100 days worth of tasks in just a matter of hours, and you're just watching this kind of happen rapidly in your mind as you just do this almost over the shoulder of yourself and begin to unlock more things and realize more magic about nature itself and unlock the tundra and realize that this cold cannot last. While it is your specialty, it is not meant to be a permanent thing. And the coldness of winter and the attitude that's biting must end. Your personal vendettas against whatever details you need from your past, they lie on the horizon, but you will deal with them on your own time. And it seems that this constant annoyance is nothing more than a cockroach to be squashed on your future. And you walk to a room where the sound is coming from, and you hear heavy breathing, and the door is already open. What do you do?
I push it open.
Push the door that's already ajar a bit further open.
And peer inside.
It is an ocean of lights and flesh. Almost like you appeared on the inside of a fish. You're watching as its exoskeleton of a deep sea fish that has lines and lines of just these weird little pips of lights just run like through the veins of it, just vroom, 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 all the way down, and it just an infinite line of just hallway. And it almost is doing it to your own heartbeat after a few moments of just staring into this very strange sight.
I take it in for a few seconds, and then, throwing caution to the wind, I take a step inside this tunnel.
Your steps squish on the floor, as if standing on a trampoline made out of pudding. It's just very strange to have substance and yet nothing at the same time as you walk down the hallway and the lights continue. And as your pace quickens, so do the lights and your pulse, and you come to the end of the doorway, which just looks to be a porthole with something familiar. A little panel with a hole that is almost like a box that has a single piece of rubber across it, and the rubber has these very fine scores on it in a star-shaped pattern. runes unrecognizable to any human eye, but you recognize them. It's just, you can't place what it means.
I study this porthole closer. Can I see anything else about it?
Well, you see that the panel, as you get closer, actually represents the same score marks in the door frame, that it's just a large piece of what looks to be leather, but the door is made out of what seems to be some kind of thick rock or metal substance or something, but it's just everything in this room is disturbingly organic.
And what happens when I try and open this?
It's odd. There's nothing to open. It's just this very strange thing that looks like a leather with score marks in it and a little runic pattern above it, and then another just almost circular porthole threshold with the same markings on a harder surface, and you just can't make two of it. Give me an investigation check.
Investigation check. I got a 13.
Okay, good enough. The investigation yields that this text means something, and your guess is that it means something specific to the panel below it. And there has to be some sort of interaction in order to use the door, similar to maybe a door knob or a door handle or a lock on the door, but rather it's onto the side of the door instead of on the door. It's very strange paneling. Your guess is it could be some kind of magic or maybe technology, or it's just so far foreign from anything, but yet deja vu familiar.
And I'm racking my brain trying to figure out where I've seen these markings and what the meaning of them may be, and the more I think about it, the weirder I feel. And it's not a nice weird. It's kind of an uncomfortable mixture of fear and anger. And disgust. I want to keep searching through my memory to reach this destination that I'm trying to get to, but I feel like the deeper I go, the more I'm reawakening something that I thought I was past.
Give me an an intelligence saving throw. Just try to break through the illusion of your mind.
3.
Piercing pain.
Welcome to the club, bud.
Yeah, actually, we're gonna get into this one. This is real good.
So I'm just gonna quickly turn my camera off and on again because that distortion is bugging me.
Small question though. Fish is within 10 feet of me. Does he get a bonus on his dreamlike saving throw?
No, he doesn't.
That'd be funny.
Piercing pain, like a hot knife, goes through your cerebral vein behind your neck, right between your shell. And your body begins to move without your command as the hand reaches towards the panel, and the paneling of the star shape opens and disappears, and your hand goes into the hole, and the hole closes slowly, almost feeling like someone's greasy fingers are wrapped around your wrist, and you reach for something and turn, and then you hear in your mind, "Good. Now think. Open."
I'm not paying attention to this voice right now. I'm just concerned about the intense pain, and I'm trying to struggle against this porthole, trying to yank my hand out of it.
Unfortunately, the damage has already been done, and the only thing left is for your shell of a body to essentially obey the beck and call of another. You cannot move. Everything is in command of your body outside of your mind. The only thing left is what's in here.
So, for a minute or so, I am still trying to wrestle with what's going on in my head. I don't know what it is that's happening, but I'm trying to wrestle with it, trying to regain control. And then eventually I get a hold of myself, and rather than trying to resist what's happening, I decide it's smarter, safer for me to go with it and relax into it. And I do what the voice says and just think the word open, like it's written in front of my face.
The panel above your hand begins to have the runes move and shuffle like spiders crawling across the surface as they just shift and morph and click on and off. The lights shift quickly, and then they form a new word, but you can't read it. Your eyes focus on it. You can read it. It says Torterra. Chamber 5. The door opens, and then you feel the impact of your ship, and you scatter into the snow, and you wake with a start. Meshadieme. Long night accompanies you. It's almost as if the cold has made it difficult for you to forget, or difficult for you to remember how to trance. You just drift off. It's so cold in your dream. And I'm not talking about the temperature. It's cold to be left alone, to be banished, to be sent out to do something that you weren't even supposed to have to do. And yet, it is what it is. You're a doppelganger after all. This is, honestly, the best you can get. The cold shoulder has been something you've been used to. And despite your infinite history of your kind and trying to break the stereotype, you're stuck. And you walk through and meet your friend Breker again for the first time. What is that like? When you and Breker met?
I think I was passing through a hallway and I heard the argument with one of the captains of the guards. I was intrigued how he was defending the innocent. He seemed to actually care. So I approached him later on. And he was very welcoming, even though he barely knew me.
Kind of flash cut through some situations that you guys have found yourselves in, maybe at the bar, kind of just drinking and getting to know one another, a scuffle in the street, and Breker standing up for the innocent and handing out some pamphlets on tier for some people that may be questioning in poverty, and you having these flashes of discussions with the other person that you're meant to learn, your target, or at least now your friend. And then you have some more flashes of going to Icewind Dale and then it's almost like everything just kind of gets a splash of ink, just covers it as you just fade out of consciousness and all imagery altogether. And you just continue to hear voices. Get out of my head. Stay out. He's giving me these weird looks. What's he doing here? Looks like a thief. What is it that he wants? I hate these barterers always trying to give just to get a bit more gold out of these stupid deals. Do they not know I have a family to feed? This and hundreds of thousands of other conversations that you've learned to pick out as you've read minds over the ages. Disturbing thoughts, good thoughts, bad thoughts, annoying things about you, annoying things about your companions, and even just failed attempts where people know that their minds are being read and you running. For what feels like hours, you're running and running and running and running and running and running and running, and then you feel the ice beneath your feet slip as you and fall right on your butt. And as you look up, the face of a Viratress, the Drake, is in front of you.
I crawl backwards. How far is this?
It's just this image of you as you reach back and crawl. You're already frozen and you can't move. You're encased in ice. And you feel the snout push against the glass and grin as the dragon says, "You stole from me."
And you stole from others.
I will find you by your smell. I smell a bilge rat. Dragon's face morphs and shifts as you see the people of 10 towns in front of you. The ice melts. In the audience of people not looking at you, just the bustlers in and out of town. Back when you knew Bryn Shander to be before its problems, and just the spark of curiosity of penetrating to people's minds over and over again is almost insurmountable. This unending hunger to know what's going on in someone's mind just rises underneath of you. Mesh, how do you calm yourself against this unquenchable hunger to know what's going on in someone's mind?
So far, my approach has been to remember my past, remember the pain I've been through, use that pain to channel myself, to focus myself. That loneliness from my childhood, that's my focus.
Now, your friend, the one that you are taking his identity, you remember a time when he stood over a desk with you and opened a book, spell book. He says, "Look, I'm going to teach you some magic, okay? But I understand this isn't really your thing. So Make it up. Try to do what you're good at and I'm good at, and we'll meet in the middle, okay? All right, now this is a cantrip. And he kind of goes into this kind of discussion, and this is the first time you ever learned how to use Mage Hand. And the way he explained it was a bit archaic, mostly like a parrot from a teacher. It's kind of annoying, to be honest. But you listened it out, and you're like, well, this is going to be for my best bet, so I'll just take some notes and see if I can make it work. And it took you forever to make this work. And now that you've been gone for a long time, you've realized, in addition to remembering your past, it helps. The descent into the desire for knowledge, the wizard's path. It's helping. The unquenchable desire to know what's in someone's head has now been replaced by your background, your remembrance, your pain, and the person that you sought to become helping you. Almost as if this symbiotic relationship that was meant to be replacement has now worked together for your future and his future. And you continue to evolve. And in this moment, you look down, and the only thing left is the desk and the book. And you turn a new page and begin to write. Chalcedony, how you doing? Kind of taking a nice rest.
Yeah.
A bit stressed from the day's activities, I would say. But in a pile of dogs and a scent of your own sweat, and yet your own fluffy keister of the satyr, probably feeling pretty cozy inside of this place as you begin to take your rest. As you rest, you remember the whimsy and the comforts of the Feywild. Although not always your favorite place, some of it feels comfortable. People dancing around fires and having rules about favors and just owing me feel very archaic, of just having someone, your friend, come up and say, hey, you want some bread? You have to owe me though. And you just kind of sighing and being annoyed that everything in the Feywild comes at a cost, whatever it may be, or however silly it might cost you to do something that's just flat out embarrassing. It's irritating to always be under these essentially hidden backdoor rules. Nothing's ever written, nothing's ever kept, but people are always trying to look for a loophole. And well, today is the last day. You're done with this. You're leaving. You don't know how, you don't know where, but you know that this is it. I've been fed up with this. I'll deal with my parents whenever it happens. I'll deal with my family. I'll deal with our clan. Whatever it is, these satyrs have got to go. I'm a satyr, but I'm not about that. So you grab your hilts, your swords, and a little slab of some armor that you had from practice, and you run into the forest. And you run and you run and you run, and it is never beyond dusk. It is always dusk here. For you are from the Autumn Court. While you know you'll miss the beautiful colors of autumn being year-round here, you know that your task is to do something good for someone else for a change, and not just looking out for all these back doors and how someone else can screw out your day. And you stumble into a cave and find that you're very, very sleepy. And as you pass to rest, your body changes its age and almost reverts to its childlike state. And just very odd rest almost reignites in you this kind of feeling that time is changing. Did you lose time? Did you redo time? What happened in there? And you kind of lose sense of self and identity. You don't really have a very... Wait, where am I from? And why did I run away again? I just didn't like them, but why? What were the details? And you wake to find that you almost lack language for any sense of things. It's just like this prehistoric, almost animalistic features, like you reverting to your goat form, or like just your goat innate nature, just eating strange things and meandering nearby and not straying too far and being scared. And then these two owlbears greet you and raise you and teach you things and just teach you how to be smart and hunt and use these more human-like appendages to fight like they do, taking slashing weapons like your scimitars that you brought with you to mimic a lot of the ways that the owlbears fought and hunted. And then you trying to do these other things and realizing this is not normal. You're a person and you have more capabilities than them, and having these discussions that just difficult to penetrate the minds of these owlbears. You just end up communicating that you have to go somewhere else, and you appreciate them, but you have a different task in mind. There's more things to do. And your brain ends up fast forwarding to where you are today. This fun-loving person and enjoyment of others' company, this kind of combat-laden person, and this vicious nature of combat kind of stemming from your background from the owlbears rather than from the Feywild. And you've become this warrior. And you remember how to use your charismatic side to benefit other people, and your commanding nature of telling others when to strike at the most weak points. And your combat that you've come up to today. You almost look at your swords in your dream in a new way. What did you pick, Chalcedony?
Please repeat that last part.
What did you pick in your upgrade? What did you choose now to change and continue in your learning of the ways of the sword, the ways of the fighter?
I chose a trip attack and precision attack, although I wasn't sure to have that one, or parry.
Okay. You almost see yourself in your vision as they stand in front of you, and you have this intense sparring match. As you learn, it's not as easy as it looks to drop somebody down. You have to be precise. You have to hit them where it hurts. And sometimes their anatomy is not always the same. Sometimes it's a satyr, and sometimes it's a human, and sometimes it's a big thing. And so you have to really study your foes almost the second you engage in combat. And it's almost like yourself shifts, and you see the Shardolin dragon again, and then you see Zardrock, and then you see these other owlbears that you've fought with before, and your companions as you sparred with them on and off, and even fought things such as cragcats, and you're like, man, if I would have had this ability back then, things would have just been so much easier. And you wake feeling strong. And as all of you wake to Torterra almost gasping for air, and Devii kind of looking at herself as this kind of slight glow begins to fade. You guys can mark a long rest. You can hear the pen scratching against the page as Vanvalor finishes his concerto.
We did it. We rested.
I think that is where we're going to take a break.
Yay!
Sweet.
Yay.
I know that was
Torterra,
long, but hopefully it was
complete you
engaging
the
for you guys to be
fifth
enjoying other people's stuff at the table. So,
Very much
sorry I did a
so.
lot of talking tonight, but I'll turn it over after the break.
Right. So Torterra's the 5th ninja mutant in the...
Lobby music.
The Tinder Turtle.
Oh,
lobby
music?
Sorry, I messed up there. You are the Tinder Turtle.
Yeah.
Right on my end.
You know, I said trip attack and precision attack. I said that I wasn't sure if I should keep precision attack or have parry.
So what you do, I think, is you add a new one, and then you can replace... What I'll do, Cal, is every time you take a long rest in this game, you can just switch one. and it represents you preparing for the day.
I can switch one every time?
Every day.
What, for the rest of the game?
Sure. That's what's going to
Really?
represent this level up. Instead of you deciding what it's going to be right now, you decide what it's going to be for the day, and then you get a new one. So it represents you having this combat preparedness for the day. You can't choose all three. You can only choose a new one now and replace an old one.
Oh, it's two. I get two choices.
So you get two new maneuvers right now? Okay, so choose two new ones, and then if you want, you can replace an old one. And then every day you can cycle. If you don't like one that you chose now, you can just choose a different one and try it out. Or let's say you're fighting, like you know what's going to come on the horizon. Like if you guys are preparing for a battle, you can prep one. So it's almost like you're preparing a spell, but you're preparing an ability instead. Sound good?
Yeah, there's lots of pretty good choices.
I remember
yeah.
finding this in UA, and I couldn't find it anywhere in prepping for this week. So I was like, you know what? I'll just tell Cal that's what you get as an added bonus, because fighters don't get a whole lot here. They just get some more options. I was like, well, why don't I just give her more options every day on top of that? So.
Okay, cool.
All right, sound good? But you have to write that down somewhere, or kind of just remember that on your own docket, because I won't remember to remind you there.
Okay.
Alrighty? Cool.
Yeah.
All things considered, I got off pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, my leveling up there's not too much. There's some nice little fancy little things I got. But yeah, I'm just like chilled.
I acquired new gravity magic.
I can go invisible now. I probably need to have a conversation with Devii about it. Though.
I can pounce! That's it.
Goldy's is really cool, I think. He gets to use his...
Yeah.
If he's raging, he gets to move.
half
An
my
extra 10
speed.
feet. Half your speed?
No,
or an extra 10?
half my speed. Half my speed, so I can move to 20 feet, which is cool. And I've got advantage on initiative as well, so I can finally not be at the bottom of the list.
That's sick. That's why I took the stupid feat about getting +5 on my initiative. Wait, what happened to my initiative?
I mean, I say that there is the idea that I could get below 10, so.
Hold on, something's weird.
But I am hopeful that I can actually rage up and actually protect you guys, and not have like Mesh or Jodie lose all their health immediately. It's like, no, I'm here. Hit me.
Alright, I messed up and I was testing something and I forgot to put it back to what it's supposed to be. Is that...
Was it easily fixable?
Yeah, I just need to change the feat. Where's the feat I was using? Not Sentinel, not Observant.
Oh, I didn't realize how much of a stack I had. Fingers crossed I get some hundos out of this.
Alert, there we go. Okay, back to normal. Yeah, +9 on my initiative. There we go, that's normal. Oh yeah. Do you guys remember if Rob said we could like move one stat point at some point? I remember saying something like that.
Doesn't sound familiar.
Not a stat point. He spoke about like becoming I forgot what the phrase was. Getting another class.
No,
forgot the word
talking
for it.
about like not this session, not this time when we leveled up. One of the previous times we leveled up, he said something about like adjusting our stats, because I never did that.
Gonna have to ask him, sir.
Because I have 3 points that I don't really care about. Like, I have 11 in wisdom.
I'm too smart. Give me something else.
No, intelligence is smart. Wisdom is wise.
Wisdom
mean,
is street. It's
how-
usually defined as wisdom is street smart and intelligence is book smart.
Ah. Huh. These streets know me well. Give me something else. Gee, I didn't. Good grief, my stack just keeps going and going.
The cookie.
Cookie.
Hopefully that was okay for all of you.
Sorry?
I said hopefully that's okay for all of you.
Yeah. I had my booster shot it's been about 5 hours now.
Kitty.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
I'm great.
Pet parents like tell them everything. What do you mean? Tell me you had COVID and that you're in that long COVID. Like, it's fine. It's fine. Stop worrying. And I did tell them, and they're like, it's fine.
At any point, did you ever say we could like adjust our stats by like 1 point moving it around? No? Okay.
I mean, you know what? I had asked for that, I think, early on. That might be what
Yeah, I remember a conversation at some point about moving stats, but I don't remember the details.
I appreciate you asking.
I had done that with another character where I took like a negative to one stat so that I could I think my strength was an 8 and my wisdom was like a 15 or something, so I was like, hey, can I take a 7 in my strength and that way I can have a 16, so I took a hit. But we're not he said not to do it for this one.
Yeah. I have like 4 points that are doing absolutely nothing, so I'm like, I need to adjust these at some point.
I mean, it helps for anything.
Core stat blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting there feeling unloved.
Yeah, they always come in handy for something. Even if it's like you have to make an intelligence or wisdom save, constitution
No,
save.
the 11 doesn't do anything. 10 does something, right? So the 1 point is being wasted. So
I mean,
I have 4
have
of
that
those.
too.
I have 4 of those.
4 of them?
Like, yeah. It's just like, god.
I mean, you'll be able to do an ability score improvement and
Yeah, I
bump them
know.
up.
That's the plan eventually. But it's
That's
just
what
like
I
4.
did. I have to get my wisdom up to 16.
Also wanted to get my dex to max also at some point.
I'm back
How's
now.
everyone doing?
Doing okay, thank you. How are you?
Good.
Are you feeling
Jodie, you,
better now?
I am. Well, you and I have to talk about the sales.
Oh, what, the Steam sale?
Yes.
And epic sales. Epic
You
have
want
also
me to go wild in the aisles, the digital aisles?
No, I mean, you bought a game last week, and I feel kind of
That was
bad
one
because the sales.
game for like £10 or whatever.
I know,
I wanted to
but we
play
could have
right
saved a
then.
$5.
That's alright.
My Indian British blood is like, no, I failed her.
I need to find the bug. No, it's fine. I didn't mind paying the £10 or whatever it was.
But there's so much like wonderful stuff I can introduce you to now.
Oh, there's stuff on sale.
If you want to.
Holy shit, 5d 10 force damage, Dali? That's ridiculous.
He's a wizard cosplaying as a bard.
That's
what he told me, at least. That's what he tells me.
I haven't actually put my new... I haven't put my new character sheet out there yet.
So guys, just for your context, I would like to do something a little unprecedented to kind of pull us out of the game a bit.
Hmm.
Can we just tell people what you guys did?
That'd be nice.
Your level up?
A Lunar New Year sale.
So I think Cal already said a little bit of it, right? You took trip attack and you took precision?
Yeah, trip attack.
You're a battle
and
master.
Precision attack. I replaced commanding presence with parry because commanding presence is really good, but I don't use it often enough.
Okay.
I feel like something else going there. The other one that you said I could cycle one in and out. The other one I was thinking about was actually rally. It's
like a temporary hit point thing?
Bolster the resolve of your companions.
What does that one do?
You can bolster your resolve of companions, and that creature can gains temporary hit points equal to the superiority roll plus your charisma modifier.
Ooh.
My charisma modifier is +5. So
Your charisma?
No, sorry, not +5. Not +5. It's hang on. What can I see it on there?
Well, what's your
Where's
charisma
my
score? You can just look up there.
Oh, so it's +3, not +5. It's +3.
Still pretty damn good for a secondary stat. Wow.
So that's why I was thinking that one would be really good. So it's someone who can, a friendly creature who can see and hear me. My superiority die is a D4. Is it D4? No, not D4. D8, isn't it? Yeah.
That's sweet though. So you get a D8 +3, so you max that thing at like 11 hit points you can just give to somebody. That's pretty cool as a fighter.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and additionally, I also, when I checked on my sheet, I also get 1 extra superiority die slot.
Oh, sweet. So you get an extra one. That's awesome.
Yeah, I've got 5 now. 5
Ooh.
D8 per short rest.
Short rest. So you better spend those bad boys. Yeah.
So if we like even like because we don't take short rests very often, right? I feel like we've taken them like twice in the whole game. So if we even
She's not wrong.
make a habit of taking more short rests, I can like really utilize these.
Yep. All right, Fish. What'd you get?
What did I?
What'd you get this level
Get a
up?
power nap.
Did you get anything cool?
Nah.
Just a new spell?
Oh.
And 1 extra spell. I used it on what was it? Ensnaring Strike.
Oh, so you can like root people down? That'll be cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
You have to think about how that's gonna look for you too. It'll be interesting. I'm very fascinated with like how you did like the fire stuff, right? And then kind of like using the tundra kind of motif is pretty neat.
80% off. I think really do.
Set up my next spell.
Yeah. Does your companion get anything new?
No. Oh, yes. I've got to go back into it to reread it.
Does he get a second attack or something?
It's not a second attack. It is something like it can use a bonus action to disengage and dash and.
Oh snap! So it's really mobile now.
Yeah. Here we go. Exceptional training, it's called.
Okay.
So beginning at 7th level on any of your turns when your beast companion doesn't attack. So instead of an attack, I can use the bonus action to command the beast to dash, disengage, or help.
Oh, hell.
Oh, so you can have that thing give you advantage like a familiar.
Yeah, you could just literally get advantage on every attack.
So you can use your bonus action to like cast Ensnaring Strike, and then have Turtwig run over to you and give you the help action, and then you can get advantage on your swing.
Okay.
That sounds awesome.
That's cool.
That's what I do with Blackie. Always on my shoulder, just like giving me advantage on every attack.
That's pretty cool.
Right. Okay.
So you guys are basically working together more now. I think it's kind of the lore of the level.
That is cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah, can we work together?
Cool for the roleplay.
Can we please work together more?
A lot of this stuff.
Yeah, that's why we're doing this.
What if we
don't you have some new insight thing? I remember fighters
I do.
get something.
I got a thing that if I speak to know your enemy, if I spend at least 1 minute observing or interacting with another creature outside combat, I can learn information about its capabilities compared to my own like a strength score, dex, etc., or
So you get a
levels or
comparative.
class.
You get a comparative thing. So like if you want to say, how strong does it look compared to me, or how dexterous does it compare to me? You know, that type of question is. You're not going to get a very like concrete, very specific answer, but you're going to get a general like, I've studied this thing in a broad sense. I can kind of gauge its. You get a power rater from DBZ, right? It's something like that.
No,
It's like it's over 9,000.
I've never watched that, but yeah.
Chalcedony, what's
I
this
believe
power level? Sorry, go on.
This is at the. Oh, okay, so it's just like.
That's a DBC joke.
Yeah. So I basically you tell me if it's equal, superior, or inferior
Correct.
to mine. So not the exact number, but
Yeah,
just
but it's still
where it
good to
is.
know, because then you're like, oh, okay, so
Yeah.
I can grapple this thing, or oh, that's probably means that, you know, my magic user doesn't want to do dex saves against this thing because his dex is higher than mine, and I'm the dexiest bitch in this combat, you know, something like that. So whatever.
This is useful because I
don't
like
know.
see. Remember that time we had to go to that camp with what was the person? I've forgotten the person's name. We was scoping them out, and we had to go to
Right.
that camp. We were speaking them. So in that situation, I could go and I could find out one of this information, then I could even relay that to my
Absolutely.
party. Because you know what my score is, so I can tell you like, oh,
And then
this
if you have
one's
more than a
lower
minute,
or higher.
like you're saying, if you have more than a minute, you can relay that information to your friends, and then they can figure that out too.
Yeah, I have to spend at least one minute with someone else outside of combat, and then I
Yep.
can learn about it, the capabilities
Awesome.
compared to my own.
So you're gonna need like stealthy or something, and then keep
Not
creeping.
even. It depends. Like if you're
Okay.
just watching something, like if you're standing watch or just observing something from a distance, or if you fought something for
observing or
longer than a minute.
interacting. So they don't. It doesn't matter whether they know I'm there or not.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Goldie, what'd you get?
Basically, I have an advantage in initiate rolls.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sorry.
That means you get advantage
Yeah.
on your
Like-
initiative rolls. That's sick.
Yeah.
Advantage. I can I can literally just finally actually get into the fight and just be like, rage up. Okay, just let's slash away. It's fine. How many times we have situations where people get hurt and I'm just like standing thinking I'm the tank. I should be the one doing something.
You also
and
got
I
a new
can't 'cause
totem,
I
didn't
rolled
you?
a 4.
You got a new totem, didn't you?
I did. Oh, I gotta carve that actually, don't I now? Ooh, didn't even think about that. Or rather, can I get my existing totem and just like add to it?
To add a ring, sure. Yeah, that's what
that
your
one was
dream was. You got a what was it? A Wolverine, so it's a wolf.
It's a wolf? Well, yeah, I guess.
On
they
your
are
character
classed
sheet,
as
you got a
wolves.
wolf, right?
It's a Wolverine of wolf.
Yeah,
you can make it a
Mother
Wolverine
wolf.
in lore, but
Oh,
like
that
the one you
treating
chose.
well done.
It's a is it Canid? Is it? Oh, it's
So-
not a Canid.
yeah.
Yeah.
so he's a bear
It's a- it's
totem
a
barbarian
family
don't.
Mustelidae.
So he's a
It's a
totem
family of
barbarian.
Mustelidae, like a weasel, like a same family as a weasel or a stoat. So it's not even a Canid. But anyway, yeah.
Should I just make like
So-
another?
so-
you know what? I'm make another one. Just like,
So
'cause
time
a
out. So
bear-
time out. You can have the thing be whatever, but in the game mechanics, you chose the wolf thingy.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so it
yes,
can be
yes.
whatever animal you want as long as it's adjacent. I don't care. Like if you want it to be a
Okay,
Wolverine, that's
okay.
cool. I'm down. And it can be a
Okay,
Wolverine
okay,
totem,
okay.
but you chose the wolf path for second phase. And what does that give you?
I'm
What?
just
Sorry?
saying,
What does it
in
give
real
you?
life, it's not a Canid.
Oh, okay. But I did get something else. I also got the ability to basically move half speed at my. Sorry, once I rage, I can move up half speed. So that is 20.
Oh, so you just get
Which
more
is-
speed on a rage. That's sweet.
Yeah,
Oh,
so I
I
can just
see.
move
What?
further.
So you can just gap close like
So-
crazy.
That's a Wolverine.
I'm hoping I can
Canid.
just like maneuver around an enemy, take two steps back, and charge for once. Because I'm always like trying to do that in a finicky way. And like, no, now I can move more. Great. Ha! Charging up.
So let's see here. It says you got your bear thing, which just gives you the different resistances, right? And then aspect of the beast, you got wolf, or in this case,
Mhm.
Wolverine. You can track other creatures while traveling at a fast pace. So you guys
Oh,
can
that I already
cook
had.
and track.
I already
now.
had that.
At
Actually,
6th level.
I'll always track. It's
That
just
was
we've
at
had
6th
a
level.
tracker the entire time.
Okay.
So I've just never brought it up. I'm just like, okay.
Well, it says you can move stealthily traveling at a normal pace. So you get the stealth bonus now. So you guys can stealth and cook with the dogs.
Cool.
Feral
Puppies,
Instinct,
go quietly.
you get initiative rolls. If you're surprised, you can act normally on a surprise round. So you can't be surprised, basically.
Yeah. Yes.
That's awesome.
These are from the old one, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a level 7 thing.
Yeah.
And then the Instinctive Pounce is the bonus action. As a part of the bonus action, you can have your speed. Oh, okay. That's sick. So you just get so when he rages, he gets 60 feet in a turn without using an action. That's nuts.
That's crazy.
That's so
Could have
crazy.
used that for the dragon.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
cool.
All right, let's go to Van. Let's try to wrap up here. We got 4 more to go, or 3 more to go after Van. So Van, what did you get, mate?
Well, I am unfortunately getting rid of the cat. It's going bye-bye.
Oh, so the saber cat's gone in the morning.
Saber cat's gonna be. Yeah, there's gonna be a little thing, I think, if we could do that. But other than that,
yeah, let's do it.
it'll be gone, and it'll be going away. And I've taken, instead of it, slow as a spell. So now my 2 magical secret spells are haste and slow, which I think is funny.
Haste and slow. You become a time mage, have you?
Yeah.
He's
It's
Chrono
like
Cross,
doing
the
a Jaeger
bard.
bomb. But yeah, so the
Sweet.
basically slow is I can choose up to 6 creatures in a 40-foot cube within range, and its speed is halved. It takes a -2 penalty on AC and dexterity throws. It can't use reactions, and on its turn, it can either use a bonus action or an action, and not both.
It's really, really
and it
strong.
It can't make more than 1 attack a turn.
Yeah,
well.
so like if you fight something with 4 attacks, it can only use 1.
And also, it can only if it takes a spell that casts it casts a spell that takes an action.
It takes 2 turns, and they have to make a con check.
Yeah.
So it's real
I took
slow.
that.
It ain't just slow. It's fucking slow, mate.
And then I got gravity, my first 4th level spell, which is gravity
meant to
sync.
be
4th level
British?
spell.
Manju is
No, it's
confused.
supposed to be Australian, but my Australian accent's BS.
Oh, was it? Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, you have to be a bit more relaxed. Like, oh yeah. No, sorry.
Let's just say it's New Zealand and call it even, all right?
That's Australian.
But yeah,
That's
so I got
Australian.
a first 4th level spell, which is gravity sinkhole, which does 5d10 force damage.
That's pretty dope. With sinking
That's New
holes.
Zealand.
All right, let's go to Mesh. Mesh, what'd you do?
Just got level 2 spells.
That's pretty big for rogues.
That means invisibility. I need to talk about the component with Cari because I don't know how I would get an eyelash encased in gum Arabic. That's a weird component.
The components, if we assume that you have a spell focus.
I can't have that as my thing.
Oh, right, because you're a rogue, yeah.
Yeah, I can't
Well,
have a spell
I'm going to
focus.
say, because of what we did with your feat, the special feat, you have a unique capability with your background to use your wizard's book as a focus.
Not your
Okay.
actual feet.
So as long as you got your book in one hand and a dagger in the other, and not using two-hand weapon fighting, you can cast a spell on the same turn. Sound good?
Cool. Okay.
So just think of
And
the
I got
book as your second hand for casting spells.
And I got 2 other spells. We replaced a couple. Silvery barbs. On my reaction, I can basically make anybody have disadvantage on something. It's a little broken. I don't know why Rob let me have it.
Cari got it too.
Me too.
She picked it up. She asked me about it.
Nice.
Oh my.
And then I also got silent image. Okay, so I wanted the cantrip for other reasons, but can't get another cantrip yet, so I'm using silent image for now.
Okay, sounds good.
It's gonna let me do stuff like.
I think your sneak attack die goes up by 1 here too, doesn't it?
Yeah, my sneak attack is 46 now. I'm using silent image for things like, you know, how you were complaining I can't hide in plain sight. Now I can. I just have something on top of me now.
Yep. Kinda.
You hear that, DM? I finally did it.
It's fine. Dragon still saw you. It doesn't matter if you rolled a 30 or not. You're standing next to it and it can see you. Breker. What'd you get, man?
I have an aura that prevents charm, and harness divine energy went up to 2 charges.
All the bard's charm just go away when they get close to you.
Oh, so close.
It's the bardic influence, Breker. It's finally becoming of you. All right, now I saved Devii for last because she did something wild this level up.
I kind of ripped it apart and became a cleric mainly, and so I took. Originally, I had 3 and 3. I think it was
You're
5.
4-2.
I was 5.
5-1.
Bard, 1 cleric.
Yeah.
Now I am 4 cleric, 3 bard. Cleric first.
Yeah.
And I took a lot of cool spells. And do you want me to say the new spells or?
Sure. It's up to you.
Okay.
You can only help your teammates.
Mostly everything else is still the same as far as like expertise and
The skills, yeah.
the skills and everything like that. Features, spells. Here we go.
God damn it! Every time.
Did you still
I was
stick with
able to-
Tempest Cleric, Cari?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
still Tempest Cleric. I swapped it so I could have Bane and Bless, so I could decide what I want to do. And then another new one was the Silvery Barbs.
Silver Barbie.
And another one.
I just
and
read
another
Bless
one.
as Bliss. I took Kinetic Jaunt.
I think that's a new spell.
Yeah, it is. You magically empower your movement with dance-like steps, giving yourself the following benefits for the duration.
You're gonna
Walking
dance?
speed increases. No, this is dance-like steps, so like it's probably more like she's just very elegant and she can, go off to
I need
the
to
side.
check that spell because I'm not sure if that's a homebrew or not, but yeah, I have to check
That's
that.
okay. It didn't have anything next to it. It's SACOC.
SACOC?
Sword Art Online. Not quite. Never mind. Bad joke.
Oh, that's
you don't
that's
provoke-
Strixhaven, I think.
Strixhaven.
Yeah.
Yep, that's
It's
good.
just a new
Curriculum
one.
of
That's
Chaos.
legal. Yep.
Curriculum of Chaos.
You don't provoke opportunity attacks. This is concentration, by the way. You can move through the space of another creature.
Yeah, it lets you
And it
dance
doesn't count
through
as
somebody.
difficult.
You literally dance through somebody.
He's like, excuse me, coming through.
It's like, I'm gonna go here and
I will thrust myself into this situation.
shimmy through this, please.
I took
Shimmy,
spiritual
shimmy, shimmy.
weapon. I've heard clerics take it all the time. Figured
Now
I'd
I'm
give
just-
myself.
Now I'm
a
just gonna
hand.
imagine Devii doing like Twister all the time, like going through spaces. Twister mode.
Now, I'm gonna say this for the people that
she's
are
dancing.
viewers and also for you guys as players. There's 2 things that you want to keep in mind with this. I was talking actually with Breker about this beforehand. So first one's very easy for me to remember, but probably harder for you guys to kind of keep track of, is that alongside of the thing I explained with Cal, where Cal can swap a maneuver a day on a long rest, all of the players that cast spells on a spell list can swap 1 spell a day. Time out, Cari.
Okay,
Hang on.
then I'm changing.
So I'll get to your stuff, okay? So there's 1 spell you can swap per day if you cannot normally do that. So Torterra, you can swap any spell you want as long as if it's a first level, you swap a first level for a first, or a second for a second, or a third for a third, something like that. Okay?
Makes sense.
Same thing with Van,
Cool.
same thing with Mesh. I've already cleared it with you guys. Breker and Devii are Paladin and Cleric, however. Those spell lists, and if you play a Druid or you play a Wizard that has their own spells inside of the spell book, like Velen, they can choose whatever spell they want every day on those spell lists. But Devi's limited to all of her Bard spells. So because she's multi-classed, she doesn't get the benefit you guys get. She cannot change her bard spells once a day. She can only change her cleric spells, all of them every day, and Breker can change all of his paladin stuff. The difference is Breker's pally spells are like always prepped. He's got a huge list of those and it's got a very limited amount of like non-automatic stuff. Whereas Devi's got a very small list of automatic stuff and can prepare a bunch of other things. So it's kind of like two sides of the same coin. And then Cari, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say that the whole reading of the oath that I did was like clerics don't take an oath, but I thought it was kind of cool that like paladins have to take an oath, so I wanted to take a cleric oath.
Take a commitment.
Yeah.
TED Talk.
TED Talk. I felt like I was gonna say something else, but I forgot. So.
Well, also, the thing with Cari's stuff is, like, there's not really a cleric that does what she wants to do. And so we picked... what was it called? Tempest. Because she was from the ocean. But what I basically said is, anytime the Tempest stuff interacts with thunder and lightning damage, you can just treat it as saying necrotic. So Devii is essentially a necrotic Tempest cleric instead. So... It's a little finagly because everything's about thunder and lightning and even the spell list is like that. But I was just like, well, maybe we can work something where instead of taking those spells, you can just say that it's a little bit different, where it's like, this is a necrotic lightning bolt, or this is a necrotic shatter or something. Because necrotic is very resisted by a lot of things in the game, so it's not like Cari's getting stronger by me making this change.
Yeah, I'm
so
not.
Just keep that in mind.
I remember I was gonna say I made the reason why I kept 3 points of bard instead of just going all cleric is because I want that expertise and intimidation.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. Let's go back into the game. You guys wake up. I'm gonna kick it over to Vim.
Dip.
Okay. We're gonna probably wrap this up in the next 40 minutes, but that should do it for Torterra.
Thanks. I've got to get up early again.
Okay.
This morning, so yeah.
Good night.
Thanks again, Fish. It's been fun.
Good time.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
Good night, mate. Have a good night, yeah?
Yeah, you too.
Alright, I'm just gonna
What night?
move
Stay.
these over.
Fine. Sorry, had to say it.
Oh, Tay. So I'm gonna kick it to
Like
Van
super
Valor if
early
you're ready,
morning,
Van.
Dallan would say.
I'm gonna kick it to you, Van, because you woke up early and you started writing like a madman. A full concerto, 6th movement.
The 6th
All right, so you guys hear Torterra kind of wake up with a start, and Van Valor scratching furiously on some notebook paper. Probably stole a pen from someone.
Probably.
Yeah, you probably did.
Any sign of bear?
Coming back.
No.
You're horrible. You'll be fine. When he comes back and you summon him again, he's gonna be like, "You're a polar bear. You'll be fine," he said.
Like gets on his hind legs and goes.
Why did you say that like Hagrid? You're a polar bear, Harry.
All right, I'm gonna get you guys up with some more moody music, I guess. Let's see here. Hang on.
Wait, stop being bad.
No.
There's a kitten and it's running
Rob,
around
if the steed is within 1 mile, I can communicate with it telepathically. Can I? Is it within a mile?
I think he got eaten.
I think it is ascended planes. That's what Rob was saying. Space.
It's back in the fair realm.
I'm sorry, I rolled so bad for your steed, Breker.
At least it's not
try.
like he won't get it back.
I
though,
cry, yeah.
At least.
I cry.
I cry.
Kind of If we get going here, I might need to sit on the sled today.
Sit in timeout. Penance for your crimes.
Announce for okay.
Well, Vanvalor, you have the floor because you said you wanted to do something for your Saber Cat switch thing.
Oh yeah. Just in the morning, I'll go out and take the barding off because when he disappears, that will vanish as well. And we maybe want to sell that.
Yeah.
And just he'll know, and I'll put my hand on his head, and he'll vanish into a little bunch of stars and go up into the sky and be all cute and a little bit sad.
You will have my power in a different form. Good day.
Good day.
He's a homie, dude. Van and this guy have a different relationship,
This is
okay?
giving me flashbacks.
He's a
This is
homie.
giving me flashbacks. But they.
I know, right? And so now, like, we've got a polar bear and not iguana. What is Blackie?
Okay.
Yeah, chameleon.
A polar bear and a chameleon that are angry with their owners.
Yeah.
A lot of this getting rid of the cat was because we, one, I wasn't using it, and two, we are a traveling zoo.
This is quite the menagerie we have
This is
going.
true.
There's just too many things. So, yeah.
And he's not talking
That's
about the players.
I mean, that as well.
Also, it gives you a lot more options too, which is nice.
Yeah, and slow is way too powerful, so...
Yeah, like if I failed to save against a legendary monster, I'd be like, all right, well, here goes one of those legendary resistances, because this sucks for me. I have to use this. All right. Well, you have a a very interesting way of kind of coming up with new spells as a bard, so I kind of just ran with the more musical side of things, but you have the floor creatively as to how that interacts.
Yeah, no, it was... What you did was pretty good. Yeah. I like that quite a bit.
So you guys have the morning, and Terra is kind of just heavy breathing in the morning, but kind of calms down relatively quickly, and kind of just a little sober, I guess you could say, is probably the best way of describing him. Just a bit level-headed, like, I'm gonna take care of the dogs, get them ready.
I'm gonna pour one out for Silas and give like a internal eulogy.
Your arms kind of feel a little itchy in the morning, just like that weird after tattoo feeling, but you're like, it's like,
In there.
yeah. And you guys notice Devi's arm tattoos are gone.
Mm-hmm. I have
That's
to
new.
replace these.
Didn't know you could.
Them with.
Didn't know you could remove them.
How does that work?
Magic.
Cool.
Uh,
Okay.
you okay?
Stand back. I'm good.
No, I'm good. That's magic. I'm out.
sorry.
Thinking about
I'll
doing-
just.
I'm thinking about making
Oh.
some like black feathers going up my hands. We'll have to see what I do.
Black feathers. Is that tattoos or actual black feathers?
No, definitely tattoos. I don't want actual black feathers on my arms.
Oh, good, because I don't mind the hunt. To be honest, it might be a little bit of a distraction for us.
You don't mind the hunt?
For black feathers.
Finding-
Oh, I thought
Black
you were gonna
feathers.
hunt me if I had black feathers. Never mind. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I totally misunderstood that.
I'm gonna stand right next to you, like, and understand that we just woke up /
Mhm.
finished our trance. I need you to know that that's what's a weird thing to say even in the morning. I need you to never say that again.
Okay.
Right, breakfast.
What are we having for breakfast?
I don't know. Sorry, the thing I was going to say, can I retroactively say that when you look at where I was sleeping, it's just like a pile of fluff, and all you see is just me emerge going straight up like that, and that's it. And I just like go, hey everyone, how you doing? Just like I'm just like in the pit of like a ball of fluff, and that's it.
Come here.
I'm still close to you. I haven't
Fuzzy.
left.
You got some fuzzies in your hair.
Oh, cool. If trust me, I'm not gonna kill you. And if this fluff can be used for your tattoos,
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
That's fine. Cool. What a weird morning. Breakfast. And I'm just gonna walk out. I'm just gonna walk out and just that's it.
So, did anybody have the foresight to set some rabbit snares? Are we near the forest?
You can assume that that's probably what Torterra is also doing. But you are nowhere near a forest.
We're not near their forest.
Yeah.
So I don't think they would be.
He has been able to be a
animals
hunting wizard. Like, this man is able to manifest food out of thin air, it feels like. Yeah. It's not a lot, but it's probably, here, I'm gonna roll D4.
Also, other small animals that
He's
are
able
living.
to get about 5
Yeah.
rations.
We also know where there's some
if he's
vultures
doing that,
nearby.
I'll work on a fire. So
Yeah,
we can
you guys
at
do know
least-
that, Breker.
I mean, if
I'm
we're really
exactly one
hungry,
cut
I
in
still
the
have
scavenger.
2 charges of my feast spell from the Chewingas.
Rude. I don't have that many. I don't have that many rations.
Well, let's save up the magic spells
I think I might have some.
for when
and
we're
quickly
for a
check.
really desperate Vanvalor, because we have. Torterra's brought us back some small wildlife from the tundra, so we can have that for breakfast.
You guys have about 5 rations from Torterra if you want to mark that somewhere.
0, because I gave them to kobolds.
I had. What did I do with my rations? I can't even remember.
I
You gave
have
some to the
about
goat.
3.
I fed a goat with some rations, but I think I have a couple left. But I don't want to eat those dry rations when there's fresh meat available. Those stupid dry rations. So I'm gonna.
I just imagine rations are like jerky strips and nuts and.
Yeah, jerky strips and nuts and oats. So it's a bit, it's survival food. It's not meant for tastiness.
To be fair,
Yeah,
we
if
haven't
Fish
had
has
a
gotten
good
food, then
meal.
I'll have a fire ready by that time, so we can heat it up.
I actually walk back in. Hey guys, if for the stroke of luck, and I just show the bag of tricks, maybe we can go hunt as well.
Go hunt with a bag of tricks.
I'm just saying, this is potluck. We might get nothing. We might get a bunch of squirrels or whatever the hell those things are.
Wait, hold up. What would happen if we ate one of those animals that are manifested from that?
Nothing.
Would it disappear in our stomachs?
We can't eat them.
Valen and see what she's found out about the orb.
How do you know we can't eat them?
Chalcedony, don't eat my animals.
Tried.
Chalcedony, you will not eat my animals.
We might get the giant moose.
Chalcedony, you will not eat my animals. Full stop.
I mean, they pop out of existence once
man.
they're
That would be
dead.
so much food. It would last. We can.
I'm gonna go
freeze it.
talk to Valen.
It would last.
I mean, you can
and
cut off
we
pieces of each while they're
continue
still
our,
alive.
our weird discussion whilst you can go and talk to Velen.
Honestly, Chalcedony, they are our friends and allies, much like each other. We will
They're
not
there for
eat
our
them.
use. So if we're starving and we're desperate, why would we not eat one of them? I just don't understand your objections there.
Guardian, if she tries to eat you or the other puppers, you're allowed to attack her.
I didn't
Don't
say
kill her.
dogs. I said the animals from the bag of tricks. I don't know if it'll disappear in our stomachs.
I don't know anymore. You have that look in your eye, that hungry look out, like you haven't eaten all night.
I have a different sort of hunger, Goldy. We can talk about
Dallan,
that
is
one
this
later.
where the tribes are?
They can be here. They roam this direction, but not often.
Devii, I need an adult.
From what I
I'm
know.
not there. I went over to go talk to Valen.
He like turned around.
Devii.
It's me and you, Goldy.
I'm just face farming, working on the fire. I'm just face farming, working on the fire.
Rob, I would like to do a sneak check to get out of the tent without Chalcedony noticing.
How would you be able to get out without me?
I need to get out of this situation right now.
Make a stealth check.
Three, never mind.
No, but you gotta describe it now.
There was no tent to begin with.
He sneaks perfectly out of the tent. You don't even
But
notice him,
smack.
and then you just hear this as he just stomps through the snow.
Smack. So I smack everything in
So
my way,
fast.
including Chalcedony.
Let's talk later then. About the consumption of the magic animal.
Help me.
You guys eat breakfast, essentially. Mark off a ration.
Yeah.
You guys have 5 freebies that you can mark off from Torterra.
Oh, he's giving rations, not wildlife.
That's
I mean,
essentially what it is. It's wildlife, but it's only for today. So you have to spend his daily ration, ideally, so he can feed 5 people.
Okay, you're just converting it. Okay.
Numb.
I really miss coming from somebody who's been on the sea for a long time. It's strange to say it, but I miss good food.
Yeah, we haven't had any since before the dragon.
I've got one left.
It's been a while.
We could go meet the giant at some point. He did offer us a hero's feast.
the Goliath, yes.
Oh yeah, but we gotta focus on this orb thing first, don't we?
True.
How about
What's
how about-
Velen discovered about this orb? What does she want to do? I'm so confused about it.
Hey, fun.
Velen's weird,
Good morning.
man.
Good morning.
Alright.
Sorry, the arthritis usually gets me a little slow in the morning, especially when we're out and about. How can I help you? What's up?
Have you attuned to the orb? Can he speak to you, us?
Yes, although I'd quite forgotten how patronizing he is at normal kind of nuance, so I'm very much waiting until we can get to a location near a building. You know, not out
Near a
here in the middle
building?
of like this tundra business for a long, lengthy discussion where we have to fight through his patronizing attitude and tone to find the facts. He is like the worst professor that you've ever had, but he's always right.
And there's
Sounds
buildings
like we
would
should
be
just go.
like Lonelywood or something. I mean, we're
Well,
pretty
there wasn't
far.
much left of Lonelywood, unfortunately, but we can try.
Well, that's what I mean. Wow.
It's
Or we
either
could go
lonely
back-
one
Somewhere
or
private is
Icewind.
probably
the
fine.
hut,
It doesn't really
remember?
matter.
Remember, we found the bell and the pit, the small.
Yes, but that's not
Jesse.
exactly a fate. Like a, yeah, no.
It's either Lonelywood, Bremen, or Targos. I think Bremen's already not even in mid condition, so Targos probably.
Shouldn't take us that long.
No. It'd be
But-
kind of nice just to report in initially.
Okay.
This orb. This was what you required to find this lost civilization, or is that what you? Is that what
In
you
simple
said?
terms, sort of. It's kind of the connecting piece to find out the next part of where we can go. Yes. Think of it as an
Okay, so-
intermediary. Like a production company that makes something, and you need them before you can get the products. For the trade.
So
We
do
need
we
to
want
get to
to
the
head
place.
back to civilization so that you can
But I don't think we need to go to the Sea of Moving Ice anytime soon, am I right? That place is dangerous as hell.
or you can we can
Indeed.
go back to the pirate ship, but
No, thank you. Quite a trip with
We
that
could-
whatever dragon on. Ugh. No.
we don't know where the dragon is. I mean, I'm just saying it's a
I'd
possibility.
like to keep it that way,
go
Mr.
back.
Chalcedony. Thank you very much.
I
You really
Brennan, I
want
don't know why
someday.
your audio is cutting out for me, and I can't hear you sometimes.
How dare you?
I think someday we could go visit the dragon again, but I don't want to do that.
Well, you can kill it by yourself. That thing is unprovoked and most displeasing. Like,
Why is
no.
Rob's audio so
I-
bad? I don't know.
I have a little doubt we will run into that dragon again. So how about this? We kill that dragon, we go back for the loot, no one else knows the loot's there, and we just get on. How's
Are you
that?
talking about today?
Who's
No, I'm
killing
talking
this
about in
dragon?
the future.
Oh, okay.
I
So-
just have this distinct feeling we're gonna run into her again. It is a her, right?
Yes.
I think so.
Oh,
So-
usually-
Yeah.
You want to kill her?
There's a dragon running around, and we're
I mean,
dealing
technically,
with the
she didn't do
mention of
anything to us.
probably.
I mean, she chased us a bit, but
They are kind of dangerous.
It does seem a little odd that the dragon's horde seemed to be a bit small for that size.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I mean, where was she storing her treasure beforehand, too?
It's a good
Yes.
question.
maybe
I have now
that's
rolled
all
a
she could
very
get.
high Arcana check to tell you the answer. I think that I think that the dragon's horde that we found is only a how would you put this? A diversifying stock exchange, if you will. They are trying to diversify where they put their money.
Huh.
So she's got other
So
points where she's hidden it, basically.
That's
She's got
probably
makes
a
sense.
location, like a safety deposit box, as far as dragon hordes are concerned. That's a small one.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
that makes everything so much more dangerous to have more layers and whatever you.
Well, yes, but also much more valuable if you were to kill her. But at the same time, also equally, it's distasteful that we don't know where the other treasure is, unfortunately. Maybe we keep it alive?
I mean, yeah, if we killed her without knowing where the other hordes are, I mean,
Yeah, that seems
Maybe-
problematic.
convince her to tell us.
Yeah,
Oh,
that'll
for
go over
God's
well.
Like,
We
Guys,
haven't heard of. Can we? What are we doing then?
guys,
Well, let's
Can
just
I
go
just
back
say
to
that-
town and collect our thoughts, maybe, and I can fire up Professor
Yes.
Scant without interruptions from other people, and he won't patronize the passerby.
Can we
This-
speak to him,
this
or
is
can
good.
you only hear him?
That is an excellent question. Forthwith, I have the answer somewhere.
Forthwith. That's
I feel like
Oh,
you're
shit.
adding more and more words.
The orb
here.
can make Arcana checks. Let's go. Okay.
That dragon had a
orb.
human on top of him.
Or, yeah.
What?
Or as a human,
Really?
or perhaps.
I think it was dead because it fell
Yes.
off with a flop. I
Yes.
think that dragon's
But still,
crazy.
My
didn't
point
see it,
My
but
point isn't if it's alive or not. My point is, it befriended a human.
human.
Yes.
Or humanoid.
That means
very
that means
much
it's not
a
all bad.
weakness.
That means
Could
it's
have been a
not all
half. Was it? It could have been a halfling. It was quite small.
I honestly
Huh.
don't think it's gonna. I mean, we haven't really heard
Meshadieme,
of
we
it
have different
terrorizing the
mindsets.
people as of late, so. I have to go really quickly.
Mesh, I like how you think like, oh, we can reason with it, and my immediate thought is a weakness. We can use this.
Well, the dragon is a sentient creature, right? Because it was talking to us, right? So it's logical to think it could be reasoned with that she's a living, thinking being, right?
Tell you what, how about we cross that bridge
Okay,
when
so
we come
you guys
to it right
can
now?
talk to the orb.
Yeah, we should travel back to Tardos.
And also, the
Yes.
orb can
Maybe.
talk to anyone. As long as they're nearby.
Or can talk to... Okay.
Really?
Yep.
How long would it take us to travel then?
Yeah.
Are you saying we can talk now or when
Oh,
we go
I've
to
done the wrong thing. That's not
Whatever.
the one.
You can talk
Ignore that
whenever.
little line I drew. Ignore that, please.
Actually, you know, I'll
You should just
14
delete
almost
that.
15 miles away. I don't know how to delete that line.
You just
I
click it.
apologize.
You just click it,
Click it.
then hit delete.
Wait, hold up. Click it. Wait. Why not me?
Also draw a box if you can't seem to click it. Trying to like select it.
Huh?
I am rather curious. How sentient is this orb? Is it like, is it Cari a living being? Or is it like
I think the best way of understanding it, maybe with a
not
more
work.
simple, non-magical mind, yes, it's kind of the best way of saying it. Yeah, it's not really imprisoned someone inside of it. It's rather an encapsulation of knowledge for, like, an interactive book, if you will. But they tend to be a bit snarky.
But not the actual person. This is an extra, as it were.
You're not using the selection tool, Cal. You're using the box tool and the drawing tool. That's why it keeps drawing boxes.
Oh wait, hang on. So there's a now I've got a box.
Then just hit delete. Bye.
But there is no delete.
The delete button on your keyboard.
Oh,
Sorry, shouldn't laugh.
but it's not working.
I mean, I just did it to two different things. It should work. There. It's
Oh,
gone.
did I do that or did you do it?
You did
I
that.
don't know. I need to test it now.
You just did that because I didn't touch it. Okay. Yeah, but it can talk to you guys. It seems that Velen has done something to her satchel. Or maybe her satchel has some properties that is able to suppress this thing from reaching out to you at the time being, but you guys haven't heard this thing talk yet.
Okay, so my second question.
About the
This
size
thing
of a
is a
grapefruit, by the way.
copy,
Oh, this is it.
right? Like,
So-
this isn't the actual person, right? This is
No,
like
no,
a copy.
no. This is not a person. I assure you.
Okay.
Think of it
'Cause,
like
you know.
they took the design of the scholarly mind and the scholarly books and knowledge in which that we've programmed into this and have made it. Think of it like illusion magic mixed with enchantment. You know, the more I try to explain it, the more magical it sounds, and for your barbarian mind, it probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It is. Actually, it makes perfect sense. That thing isn't a real person, and there are no ethical issues to even bring up.
Yes, exactly. It's nothing
put you down.
barbaric or sorry, that's a poor choice of words.
Wow, I have really brought myself down upon you, huh? Like I'm
No,
not just a idiot who
it's
swings
very
around a
early,
stick.
and these bones are aching like screaming children inside of me. I'm sorry.
I feel
Okay,
that.
how about we just get going then?
I'm glad
Get
Cari
something
found that
more.
amusing.
Can we get going?
That was so relatable.
Is it still morning right now, dear?
Yep. It's dark,
It
but it's still
is.
morning. Yeah.
So
Let's
we could
go.
we could travel back to Targos because Brennan is it's 15 miles.
Brennan's
So
Wait.
2 miles. It's still going to take us all day to get back. By the way, so it's 2 miles per hour with the dogs.
Suppose we can
It's
continue
like an all-day
this,
journey. Let's
this
continue.
rapid trail conversation on our way.
Yeah, let's prepare? Can we
Yeah,
prepare?
let's just have all the conversation we just had
everything out.
on a sled.
And I poached Goldy. Goldy.
Uh,
Like, I'm
yes.
just saying that if there was an emergency situation, right?
Yes.
Like we were starving to death. You have that
Mhm.
bag of tricks, right? We could at least attempt to try and see if we can eat the animals. We don't know if we can eat them. If we've got a really big one, it would be like a feast, and then we would, not
You
starve to
realize
death.
the
All that I'm saying.
the cobots tried to eat it. Remember back at the ship? Nothing. They puffed.
But you
They're
killed
not-
it before they had a chance. They didn't take a bite.
You can't eat it.
Listen, I realized that I know we're just role playing.
And
Listen,
then,
I
the
know you
camera
like to
pulls
experiment.
back, and we see little blips of the two yelling at each other.
Listen, Cal, I know you want to experiment with this as opposed to, deal with your hunger, but I still see them as real animals. I oppose to you eating them. Every time we summon one, it's the same one we summoned before. Wait, didn't we leave the weasel to die? Ooh,
Yeah.
that's gonna cost me in the next.
You left multiple animals to die by saying they're your friend. Multiple times you let them.
You know what? I better summon them one day to just explain the situations. I don't want there to be any ill will.
I don't have ill will. I just,
Not you. I don't care about your ill will. I'm talking about my animals.
Oh, okay. Your animals, I see. That's how it is.
Meanwhile, I'll be talking to Deli about the teaching he wants.
I got really posh there for some reason. I shouldn't have.
Goldy isn't posh, is he?
No, he's not. He's not meant to be. But he got really posh with animals. Anyone else want to talk? Have a conversation? Two giant heads in the sky, just going bear, bear, bear.
I just imagine, like, we just see them from far away, and then there's, like, the word bubbles of you two.
Bickering. Yeah, we're talking, but like we're packing up as well. And I imagine Goldie's preparing the dogs, and I'm also preparing the dogs, harnessing them because I'm gonna drive one of the sleds because I have driving proficiency. So I'm gonna drive one of the sleds, and we can prepare the tents are just like magic tents, right? They don't need to be packed up, right? They're just magic tents. Yeah?
We could just hand wave that.
Not magic tents.
Okay.
They take time.
Magic tents are
And you
gone.
didn't even set up any tents.
We didn't even set up any tents. No work. I love
She's
these magic
talking
tents.
about the bubbles.
Can we get more
the
magic tents? These are amazing.
Tiny
Oh,
huts.
well, like in Cal's words, she probably refers to the tiny huts as tents. Yeah, sure.
Cowards referring to the tiny huts as tents. These are amazing. This is like the closest to glamping we've ever done. This is fantastic.
All right, so you guys pack up, head out. Can I see the pathway you guys are planning to take here?
Oh, I didn't
Onward.
have...
Yeah, can we go in a straight,
Probably
more
go
or less
Straight shot to Bremen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Onward,
and
Everybody
if you want to
perception
stop
checks,
at
let's go.
Brennan- We're doing a what check?
Perception.
Perception.
Just
Perception?
I already rolled for fish.
Okay.
Do we all have to do it?
You don't have to. You can willfully fail if you want.
Rolled a 5.
Oh!
Not willfully failed.
In your face.
Unwillfully
so.
failed.
Oh, you got.
It's a
You got... Oh, dear, fuck.
22.
Why the hell not?
I got
24.
22.
In your face.
Get out of here!
Okay,
You
so
did that
only
deliberately.
2 failures then. So you guys pass.
I got a 6.
As you guys are sledding, the dogs begin to slow without much real, like, doing on your own. All of the drivers, you guys are having kind of a strange thing where the dogs are kind of acting up a bit on, like, not going at pace, and they're just this odd set of unease.
Guardian,
Very,
what's
very
going on, boy?
odd to kind of set up as they just kind of run past the wind, kind of coming across, you know, if you will, from the Ragged Glacier on the very far east towards you as a westerly wind. And then you start to notice that the wind isn't just from the west. It's starting to mix and match and go the wrong ways. And some of you see that the snow that you have been around has picked up, you know, and it's made vision relatively normal. It's difficult to see. Everything's just white. It's bland. But something kind of just whizzes past all of you guys as you sled. These
It's
things
not a
that just
dragon,
aren't
is it?
these things that just aren't moving in the sand. Maybe one of you guys slow to a stop. The snow becomes almost a blizzard, but not quite. It's very, very hard to see. All of a sudden, just kind of out of nowhere, and you pull up next to one of these things and you check it out, and it looks like you are in the middle of an entire herd of elk. But all of the elk are frozen solid.
What?
And you can hear the crunching of ice through what sounds like someone chewing on a big mountain of icicles in the distance, just kind of out. Like someone's chewing ice cubes.
Detect thoughts. Is it in range? 30 feet?
Oh yeah.
Have we stopped?
Yeah, you guys have stopped to kind of slow down. The dogs are very strangely just quiet.
From where I am, can I get off the sled and just slowly walk up to Guardian and go, what is it?
Can I also get off the sled and have a look at the frozen? Did you say the elk or moose or something?
It's like
frozen?
it's like that crag cat you guys saw on the ship, but it's like completely frozen in place.
So are they frozen as though they were moving, or are they like laying down? Or are they
Make an
like kind of
insight check.
collapsed laying down? Sorry?
Make an insight check.
Sorry, I mean, so my the audio cuts out for you sometimes. I'm sorry about that.
I don't know if is this doing it for anyone else or just Jodie?
Yeah, occasionally. Not
Cutting off a
every-
little bit, not too much.
It's not you. It's a Discord thing.
You said
When I'm
investigate.
talking,
Sorry,
it takes someone to
insight.
be
Okay.
Quiet.
Let me just turn
Insight.
off this.
I have no stuff things. 18.
Yeah,
It's us
the
Brits.
the animals definitely look like they were moving, and like there's fear in their eyes, and it looks like they were running from something.
It's possibly the dragon, guys.
Spy?
And Guardian responds
Guardian?
I was
to
thinking.
Goldy and just says, "There's something out there. Can't smell." And the munching continues, and you can hear kind of like this. It sounds like well, I'll just put it in Devi's terms. This sounds like a mast has just been unfurled, just like when they like drop the sails. That's what it sounds like just happened. Kind of off in the distance behind the snow, and then the kind of the snow and the winds shift again.
Are there any
Seemed like
trees or
something
is
was
this
just
No
dropped
trees.
here?
What?
no
Does it
trees?
seem like this was just like a plane that was just dropped here that we suddenly found? Like we've
It's like a pocket
in
of snowstorm,
like,
yeah. It's like a
No, I mean
flurry.
like in real world terms, it would be like it like someone just walked into a like a fairy circle or like a fey circle, where it's like suddenly you're in the Feywild. Or
No, it's
But,
like the
like-
snow slowly picks up over time, and then like as the snow kind of becomes really difficult to see, the winds start buffeting and start changing and shifting, and then all of a sudden it's just like a whirlwind of wind and snow, and then now you're seeing these things whiz past you. You slow down, the dogs get nervous, and then there's these frozen, not statues, but actual elk that are frozen standing in the middle of where you're at.
I mean, I guess we just continue.
I'm-
quiet.
So is our
I'm
is our
gonna-
vision obscured by the snow
Snow.
and wind?
Yep.
The snow.
I'm summoning an animal from my barbaric tricks and I'm throwing it
Wait,
to the
no,
other
no,
side. No?
No.
What?
No. Wait.
I'll
Are
use
you-
it as a
Rob.
distraction.
My silent image is a 15-foot cube. I think we can get everybody in a 15-foot cube? Is that viable?
Silent image
Not with
or
not with all of
silence?
the not with all of the dogs.
Sleds.
And the sleds, yeah.
and dogs. I think that
You
will
could probably
work.
cover one, maybe two if they're side by side, but not all three.
Yeah. Crap. Alright,
How
you can do
about-
what you were
Or maybe
doing
you
then,
could cover like
Goldy.
just the sleds, but not the dogs.
We do have pass without a trace.
They'd have to be really close.
I'm
Yeah,
throwing.
I think we do pass without a trace and have some distractions. I'll use it as a
Okay.
distraction, I guess. You can use your distraction. I have another distraction.
I'm throwing an animal.
Yet.
Wait, Goldy,
we might
don't.
not need one.
Did it already. That's not a discrete animal to have.
It's a giant badger.
Great.
I mean, like he can come with us, I guess, and you can like.
No, I'm gonna get him to make noise and go in a very far direction from us.
No,
So at
I
least
have.
we can either get
Goldy,
away, or we can get some. Get like a sneak attack on him if it's a
Oh,
hostile.
we stopped. I have maybe a slightly better idea. Could we me and someone else sneak a bit closer to see, because we've stopped. Whatever's there is occupied and doesn't know we're here. It could be the dragon. We could go and observe to see if it is the dragon or not. If you want to investigate further, otherwise we could move on because it doesn't know we're here, presumably. But we
I
don't
like
know
the
if
idea of
it's
investigate.
or not.
but I would like to know what we're dealing with before we do anything. So sneak.
Yeah, I don't want to watch in there with a giant badger like some people.
Okay, hold up. The giant badger is there to draw it out. So either we can look at it, we can distract it, we can attack it, anything we want. We're not going with the badger. The badger is on its own as like, bait.
Right.
Right.
What
but
do you want?
If I don't think I'm saying if I go and observe, I have a what the fuck that thing called? Know your enemy, so we could learn something actually interesting about it if I went to observe it with someone else.
Velen, can you send your owl to look at this
That
thing?
would be good.
Oh yes, I can do that. Although
Also-
if this is what you possibly think it could be, the dragon, it might not be wise to even let it know that we know. If that thing goes in there and can observe this is very thick snow, that thing might just see it anyways and eat it and then come after us right away. So I don't even know if scouting it is wise. Maybe just avoiding whatever the hell it is. If it's not a dragon, is probably wise anyways. We could just go around.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
think
thinking,
going
but
around with
this
the
is
distraction
terrifying.
on the other
These
side.
creatures are frozen in place. It's the same thing as the crag cat.
But it doesn't
we
know
just
we're
make
here
the
right
assumption,
now,
or
does
are
it?
we
It
just?
is the same as a crag cat. Yeah.
It's just over the way where we can't see.
And as she says this,
So
you
we
guys
could-
are
we could
hearing
just
the unfurling of a sail, basically just making this massive sound, and then the wind pushes out from in front of you, and you start to see through the
Pass
snow
without a trace.
just
Dotera.
a very thin outline of a massive dragon chewing on what you can only guess is an elk that has been entirely encased in ice and is just bitten into
How
another
big
one.
is this dragon?
Can I get pass
Oh.
without a trace, Dotera?
Does it have a human on its back?
Probably about a half of the size of the ship you were just on.
Does it have a human on its back?
Make a perception check with disadvantage.
$16.
There's a very thin outline of some odd-shaped hump on its back. It's a little darker colored than the white backdrop that seems to be blending into the snow. Definitely looks like there's
Rough
something on top.
distance.
It's the same dragon.
Can I get a
Or
draft
something.
distance?
A draft distance?
Rough
A what?
distance.
About 100 feet. It's very close.
It's close
Devii.
to where we are.
Oh yeah.
Can you message it?
Message it.
Again. What would you like me to say?
We're here. Come eat us.
Ask about its rider.
I
We-
don't
we know
mind
the
doing
name.
that, but I don't want it to.
To know we're here.
Are we trying to leave, or are we
We're
trying
just
to
gonna try
inquire?
to-
Or
I
are
like
we
the
trying
idea.
to fight? What-
I've heard.
What are our choices here? Fight, leave, or inquire? What are we doing right now?
I don't want to fight, but I'm saying we could. If you want to learn something about this, we could.
I just want to be clear what we're doing here.
I'm
gonna move Devi's token really quick to show you guys where you're at for this. You guys are about halfway on your journey when this happens. Probably fair to assume.
We're halfway between where we was and.
Yeah, you guys are probably about.
Chef isn't the leader.
No.
I'm asking
it is
him.
1 o'clock. Could we wait and wait for next week so that everyone can make a decision together?
It's up to you guys.
This would be a good time.
That might be a good idea, leader.
I will tell you. I rolled for an encounter for today. Motherfuckers, it was the dragon.
Oh jeez.
That's like the perfect timing.
Yeah, just after we ran off.
I kid you not.
Well, not necessarily the perfect timing, but we just saw it, so it's like it makes sense.
You're just very lucky it's not in a blizzard.
It would be a good place to end here, I think.
I said chef. Shouldn't have said chef. Wrong word.
Oh, also,
Breker.
I can take gentle
Breker.
repose, so if we get into the city, I can cast that on the body that we're taking. What's
Okay.
the ghost girl?
Yep. Nas.
Nas.
Well, I was hoping to read all of this juicy lore to you today, but nay, barely.
What about the
have
dragon?
to wait.
Say that again?
No, that's just on all of the information that Velen and the orb have.
Yay! I'm excited.
6 pages.
But by the way,
wow.
Me and Cal are off the. We're on the ground. Is anyone else off?
But we're right near the sled.
I'm gonna save you some time.
I just want to know if we're going to make an exit.
I'm gonna save you some time. Save for next week.
Okay.
See you guys then.
Let's talk about it later. When's it? We can.
Songs of Summer meet a fresh new blizzard that doesn't come from anywhere but a dragon, and they have to make a choice. What to do next? We'll see you guys next week.
What to do?
On Saturday night for us. Saturday morning. Thank you, Torterra, played by Fish on the Heater, who had to cut out early. Devii, played by Cari. Breker, played by Chef. Meshadieme, played by Meshadieme. And Chalcedony, played by Jodie. Goldy, played by Goldy. Vanvalor, played by Dallan G. And I was the stupid guy that talked a lot about everyone's background stuff today as the Dungeon Master. And my name is Rob. You can see me here potentially tomorrow playing more Legends of Arceus. I don't know. I might just take the day off and play by myself. But see you guys later. Bye.
These
Is it Saturday yet?
glowing crimson.
Bye.
Mwah. Chef, I need to know what